Retell the entire Money Heist saga, S1, S6, but with a scary, haunting atmosphere, like a crime horror story. The focus will be on fear, suspense, betrayals, death, and psychological terror inside the Royal Mint and Bank of Spain. Money Heist, the complete dark saga, seasons 1 to 6. The prologue, a mastermind in the shadows. In the cold silence of Spain, a man known only as the Professor gathers 8 lost souls. They are criminals, fugitives, broken men and women, each scarred by life, but now they are offered a deal to enter history or to die trying. With code names taken from cities, they are no longer human. They become masks, shadows, and red ghosts. Tokyo, Berlin, Nairobi, Rio, Denver, Moscow, Helsinki, and Oslo. Their target, the Royal Mint of Spain. Not to steal money, but to create it, billions of euros that never existed. But the moment the doors close, the Royal Mint becomes a haunted house of greed, fear, and death. Season 1, 2, The Royal Mint, a house of ghosts. The heist begins with violence and terror. 67 hostages scream as masked intruders flood the mint. Outside, the Professor plays his game with the police, while inside, the red jumpsuits divide into leaders and rebels. Berlin, cold and merciless, rules with an iron fist. He is like a ghost commander, ready to sacrifice anyone. Tokyo, fiery and unstable, clashes with him, her emotions always on the edge. Denver, Moscow's son, commits a sin of the heart, falling for hostage Monica Gaztambide, who will betray her own world to join the criminals. Nairobi, the motherly soul, commands the printing presses, whispering to the machines as if raising demons of paper and ink. But the heist is cursed. Oslo, beaten by desperate hostages, falls into silence forever. Moscow, bleeding in the dust after a police gunfight, dies in Denver's arms, leaving father and son broken. And finally, Berlin, diseased, doomed, yet proud, stays behind in a final stand, mowing down the police before the bullets turn him into a martyr. The survivors escape through the tunnels with 2.4 billion euros, but at the cost of blood and souls. Yet the horror is not over. The Professor's heart is captured by Raquel Murillo, the police inspector hunting him. She abandons the law to follow him into exile, choosing love over duty. The world thinks the heist is over, but the ghosts of the Royal Mint never rest. Season 3 to 4, The Bank of Spain. Into the abyss. Years later, the gang is forced back into darkness. Rio is captured and tortured by Europol. To save him, the Professor declares war on the state. This time, their battleground is the Bank of Spain, a place older, darker, and more cursed than the Mint. Deep inside lies gold reserves and an underwater vault guarded like a tomb. But the bank is not just a target. It is a labyrinth of nightmares. Inside, Palermo, Berlin's old friend, takes leadership. Arrogant, unstable, and haunted by Berlin's ghost. Tokyo struggles with grief and rage, a ticking time bomb. Nairobi, the heart of the group, dreams of seeing her son again, but dreams don't last in haunted places. The police strike harder this time. Inspector Alicia Sierra, ruthless and pregnant, becomes their hunter. Unlike Raquel, she has no heart, only venom. Blood fills the bank's golden halls. Nairobi is captured, tortured, and finally executed with a bullet to the head. Her death echoes like a curse, breaking the gang's spirit. Palermo betrays them, opening the doors for chaos, before crawling back to help. The gang is trapped in hell, surrounded by death, betrayal, and the weight of gold. Season 5, 6, The Final Curse. War of Shadows. The Bank of Spain becomes a fortress of war. The army is unleashed, turning Madrid into a battlefield. Inside, the robbers are no longer just thieves. They are ghost soldiers. Every corridor echoes with gunfire, screams, and the weight of fate. Tokyo, surrounded by enemies, makes her last stand. With grenades in her hands, she smiles at death and blows herself apart, dragging soldiers into the grave with her. She becomes a legend, but her ghost haunts the survivors forever. Helsinki loses his brother-in-arms Oslo, and later is crushed under rubble. nearly left for dead. Denver and Monica's love begins to fracture under the weight of survival. Outside, the professor faces Alicia Sierra, his deadliest enemy. But when the state betrays her too, she turns from hunter to ally, proving that even monsters can bleed. The gang's final challenge is not bullets, but gold itself. They must smuggle tons of gold out of the bank, melting it into tiny grains, slipping it away like cursed sand. The price of victory is heavy. Too many ghosts remain: Berlin, Moscow, Oslo, Nairobi, Tokyo. But in the end, the survivors trick death once more. They fake their own execution, vanish into shadows, and are reborn with new identities. The professor keeps his promise to turn broken souls into legends. The epilogue. The ghosts of Red Spain believes the robbers are dead, but somewhere in the world, men and women in red live free with their stolen gold. Yet the true treasure was never money. It was the bond written in blood, sacrifice, and horror. The Royal Mint, the Bank of Spain, both remain like haunted ruins, echoing with the screams of the past. Every mask, every drop of blood, every ghost in red, whispers the same story. Once upon a time in Spain, death wore a red jumpsuit and a smiling mask. This single horror-style retelling of Money Heist, Season 1 to 6, can easily be stretched into a 50-60-minute video script with narration, suspenseful pauses, and dramatic music. Do you want me to now expand this into a full 50-60-minute YouTube script format with narration style, dialogues, and pacing so you can directly use it for your video?